Good Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. You're watching the Kaiser Report. Kaiser's here on the couch with me today, and we're going to go through a couple of things that are just come straight out of bizarro world in some cases, because it's fiction that is actually taking place before our eyes. Just starting with the remake of Fidler on the Steps over there with the Congress people, led by Jeffries and Spartacus, to get out there and do what? Sing Jewish songs from the Fiddler on the Roof and make you believe that they're actually protesting something that needs protesting. They're protesting the fact that they are getting out of doing the job that they were elected to do, and they're protesting because they have Trump derangement syndrome so badly that they can't take it. They're also protesting to make you understand how aggravated they are over having things looked into, such as what Doge has done. And they're also aggravated over the fact that they lost the election, they lost control of the House, they lost control of the Senate, and it was an election to beat all elections because they were wrong from the beginning on. They tried every illegal process using the justice system, which was corrupted under the Biden administration, probably going back to the Bush administration, if you really stop and think about Trump's last term, where they all got together with this impeachment nonsense and tried to push that through and lost at that. We're looking at a bunch of losers here, and they're not going to get any better at what they're trying to do as far as bringing together a new woke coalition of people that will push out the old guard that's sitting there in the Democratic Party, or tried to push them out. And look already what they've done to stupid Schumer, the chicken hawk that's like this over the podium trying to tell you how bad Trump is. This guy needs to go home. He's been there far too long. He's done a multitude of damage to the Democratic Party and this country when you stop and think about the aid bills that were pushed through and railroaded down the Senate's throat as far as getting all of those dollars sent to the Ukraine. And I would love to know some accountability on that. But we're never going to see that because it's massively covered up. And when they're so upset about Elon Musk and Doge, there's a reason for that, because sooner or later you're going to see the track back of some of this cash. We already know about the insider trading that's taken place inside both halls of Congress. So don't even get me started on that. But the Fiddler on the Steps and the other stunts that they're pulling, like that jackass Booker stands there for 25 hours saying nothing and trying to call it a filibuster, and they all know better. It was not a filibuster because there were no bills on the floor, nothing happening other than he needed to grandstand, get his face in the news, and become more believable when he takes his minions out to the steps to sing stupid songs. And this is what's happened to our Congress. And if I were you, and I do, I would write, call, and do whatever possible to chide these people for the nonsense that they're pulling off and trying to get away with as elected officials of a government that should actually know a lot better than what they're doing. And as far as Schumer shooting his mouth off, we'll see some more of that as well. It's almost incredible. So let's just review yesterday right here.
Republicans have been facing a lot of heat at town halls, but also Democrats have been as well. And there's a lot of frustration towards members of your party, not just from voters, but we're even hearing it from members of your own caucus. I want you to listen to your colleague, Colorado Senator Michael Bennet, what he said this week.
I am furious with the Democratic Party because, in my view, our inability to offer a compelling vision and articulate it to the American people has resulted in Donald Trump being elected not just once but twice. We need to come to grips with that, and we need to ask ourselves why that is.
What do you think?
Well, look, no, we're doing very well. We are totally united in focusing on Trump. Well, look, no, we're doing very well. We are totally united.
2 days later.
New polling shows Democratic leadership with only a 27% approval. It's a record low for the party in CNN polling back to 2008.
Holy moly.
Well, look, no, we're doing very well.
What do they need to do? What is their challenge?
Well, the challenge is that they've gone on the Senate side incredibly ineffective and, frankly, out of touch leadership.
I will build this world from love. I will build this world from love.
Not too bad.
Yada da 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 yada da da.
Please turn it off.
No.
And you must build this world from love.
And you must build this world from love.
Yada da 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 yada da da.
If I were a Democrat right now, I would not be looking to the Senate or the House. I'd be looking to the governors, the people who actually have to administer policies day by day. Let the governors stand up, come forward with why they've been successful in their states.
Join us in California. Join us in California. Join us in California.
I'd rather be dead in a ditch.
It really is fiction in real life. What you're seeing, what you're hearing are all lies, and it is propped up and pushed by mainstream media, which is another thing that you, and I tell you this here every day, don't tune in. Give them ratings that show them, the networks, what's wrong with their talking heads that are carrying the torch for a dying Democratic Party and now pushing socialism as far at us as they possibly can on a morning basis, an evening basis, and if you're reading newspapers, you're getting a tainted view on what America is today and what's really going on behind the doors of our beautiful Capitol building. We have a few voices that are still out there trying to explain to these news network idiots what really is going on. But then you have people like Tarlov over there on the 5, that Jessica with the worst voice, that it's like fingernails on a blackboard, her voice. It's just incredible at the stupidity that she shows on that show, trying to protect a narrative which doesn't work, such as these things with this, Kilmore down there that they're trying to bring back, and all the senators are running down to make sure that there's makeup on his hands to cover up the tattoos, which indicate that he is a member of MS-13. So Tarlov shows up yesterday trying to convince the 5 and us that it was all photoshopped, and protect this guy that I guess Trump got into it with him, this ABC reporter over the weekend, or maybe it was Monday, about this, and they refuse to understand that these tattoos mean what they say it means, and it has been shown by everybody, including the DEA, who has come out and said these are definitely markers for a member of the MS-13, whatever you want to call it. I call it a murderous gang. But she sits there yesterday trying to make you believe that, once again, the Maryland father. Well, let's just take a look right here.
You could get him back. There's a phone on this desk.
I could.
But the court has ordered you to facilitate that.
I'm not the one making this decision. We have lawyers that don't want. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshop.
You want me to show you the picture?
I'm not an expert.
We were all assured that no one was dumb enough to think that it was actually said MS-13, but it seemed like Trump actually did think that. And there have been a number of experts on gang tattoos, like CBS, I'm looking at an article right now, that they spoke to, who said that these experts did not say that the symbols the judge talked about, the marijuana leaf and the cross,
then they're
and the
wrong.
smiley, then they're okay.
They're wrong.
Our gang expert is better than
prosecuted these cases.
That's fine. Either way, public opinion has shifted on this issue.
And here we go.
And I'm sorry, Jessica, I love you, but I don't believe anything you say anymore. You're wrong about everything. Every time you come up with these things, first he's a Maryland dad, then actually he does have tattoos that spell MS-13. Yeah, and then there's this other tattoo expert that you have. I thought we were supposed to trust the experts, right? And all these experts say this guy's a gangbanger, and you don't trust the experts. Let me ask you this. When a guy hangs out with MS-13 and gets picked up in a gang sweep, how is it that the MS-13 ranking gang members are allowing a non-gang member to hang out with them? Don't you think that's a little bit of a security risk, Jessica? That's like when the feds raid a Gambino gambling den. And do you think it would be believable if some Italian guy was like, I'm not in the mob? Yeah, they're just letting random guys play cards in a gambling den with a bunch of mafioso. Use your brain, Jessica. And I don't even believe you're this. Use your brain, Jessica.
Why are you still here?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Nobody likes you.
Just stop talking. Just stop. Like, I don't even know what you're doing. I really don't.
Use your brain, Jessica.
What a stupid son of a...
When do you think that Fox will wake up and realize that she is a detriment to that show? Many people that I know, when she is on, they turn it off. Myself included sometimes, but I have to watch because I have to report to you what my opinions are on what is said there. It's usually a very good and informative show until they put her on. And it's okay to have a Democratic point of view on that show, and that's why she was put there originally, but they made a wrong choice. When you watch when Harold Ford is on there, he takes the Democratic side, but he takes it with a monicum of class and believability, and he has common sense, and he is a very votable for person if he were to run. I admire his honesty, and he will tell you when it's wrong. This Jessica Tarlov is a scourge of misinformation that she throws into that program and has to be corrected, as you just saw, by her co-stars. But that's Jessica Tarlov, and I cannot wait to say goodbye to her. she's worthless. Well, that brings us to what's going on the slippery slope of the Democratic Party. They let it all out one day this week, and we have kind of coupled together a meme here for you to look at that kind of gives you a snapshot of some of the bizarre incidents that are taking place on the slope of the sliding Democratic Party that's trying to put itself together and make it a socialist kingdom that they would like to see by utilizing, trampling on the successes of 100-day, of great successful 100 days of this presidency that's on right now, doing the jobs that haven't been done or looked at for 30-some years. And now he has done some of it completed, and against all odds, because every turn of events, you have a Democratic paid-for news media that is propagandizing everything that the Democrats want you to believe, which is not true, and also what is going on with polling numbers on Trump, which are exaggerated at best and not being literally not being let out, because they're using polls where they poll a bunch of Democrats and then come back to you and say that he's at an all-time low. We know that is not true. We watch this every day. We see it in real time, what's going on, such as yesterday. He said he was going to get the rare earth mineral deal signed with the Ukraine, and it happened. And he said he's going to help in this war over there between Russia and the Ukraine, and it will happen. And the economy and the tariffs that mainstream media and the Democrats would like to have you panic over, because they live in the world of chaos and panic, and that's the Democratic Party's mantra for every day now during the Trump administration, the second Trump administration. And he just trolls the hell out of them, and they come right back the next day with the excuses and the gotchas that they can come up with. And if they can't come up with one that is valid, they'll make one up. And now you have these morphidites that are sitting in our Congress, some of them foreigners that shouldn't be there, that married their brothers to get them into the country, and so on and so forth, are yelling now impeachment. It didn't work the last time, people. What makes you think it's going to work this time? There is no crimes being committed or scoffing of laws by this administration. They are actually going along by the letter of the law with regard to deportations, which they don't like. And let me explain one more time why the Democrats are so negative and aggravated over the fact of deportations. Everyone that leaves this soil here in the United States and is sent back is one less vote that they can bank on to get themselves back into mainstream power one more time, so they can do the same darn thing over again and let more illegals in, because that is their voting population right now. They do have a whole bunch of people in this country that are dazed and confused enough and call themselves Democrats that will always vote for Democrats, no matter how bad criminally or the lack of common sense and knowledge is, they'll still vote for that person. And then you end up with some that they vote in that you would question, like Mr. Fetterman there, who has come to reality and understands exactly what's going on, and will vote in the Senate and be cognizant of what is needed to get this country back on track. But anyway, they let a lot out this last week because they're in panic mode right now. They want you to panic. They want you to be discontented. They want you separated from anybody that may tell you the truth. And they are at it again and will continue as long as we allow the networks to put these people like Rachel Maddow and those others like her on the air. Take a look right here.
The only terror we had was Nancy Pelosi, who's a crazed lunatic. She's a lunatic.
I'm respectful of some of the opinions that people have, but I also am respectful of the grassroots. My people are very much Biden, Kamala Harris, and this is an opportunity for Joe Biden to go out there and show he has the stamina and the rest. And by the way, while the press, and for some reason they don't, there are healthcare professionals who think that Trump has dementia, that his connection, his thoughts do not go together. Not only that he just lies, he doesn't even know the truth. So if we're just talking about mental acuity, let's be fair about it.
Last night we let the liquor talk.
I have loved Joe Biden, respected him for over 40 years. I was party chair in California, then I became member of Congress, and then one thing, other housewife, House member, House Speaker, working with him all along. I think he has made one of the biggest contributions to our country in the shortest period of time of any president you can name, whether it's job creation, whether it's, well, the first bill that protect our assault, our bill,
COVID.
Shots in the arm.
What?
Whether it's job creation, whether it's, well, the first bill that protect our assault, our bill,
COVID.
Shots in the arm.
Where's Nancy?
She's gone.
That protect our if we're just talking about mental acuity, let's be fair about it. Assault, our bill,
COVID.
Shots in the arm. Trump has dementia.
Excuse me, son. Look who's talking.
The gentleman from New York is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, here we are again debating a bill that is, I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, here we are again debating a bill that is another attempt by the majority to scapegoat and fearmonger about immigrants.
I hope the answer is yes.
Not on our watch.
This legislation purports to add new grounds of inadmissibility and deportability for sexual offenses, adds a new ground of inadmissibility for domestic violence and other related offenses, and expands the current grounds for deportability for domestic violence.
Mr. Chairman, here we are again, debating another partisan bill.
Another partisan bill?
How?
That fearmongers about immigrants instead of working together to fix the immigration system. I probably shouldn't be too surprised. Scapegoating immigrants and attempting to weaponize the crime of domestic violence is appearing to be a time-honored tradition for Republicans.
One nap later.
Clerk will report the title of the bill.
Union Calendar number 547, H.R. 7909, a bill to amend the Immigration and Nationality Act to provide that aliens who have been convicted of or who have committed sex offenses or domestic violence are inadmissible and deportable.
The question is now on passage of the bill. Members record their votes by electronic device. This is a 5-minute vote.
5 minutes later.
On this vote, the yeas are 266 and nays are 158.
Think about that.
Well, that is pretty much says a lot about a lot of different things. But that's what's floating around now on several platforms. And we kind of shoved it together for you so you could take a full scope look at what is really amusing about the Democratic Party, about the media prowess that has been lost, and how far they can slide down a slippery slope that they're on right now with their shows and antics and the like. These are productions that are thought up by people who are not thinking correctly, and it's obvious to us all, so pay attention. Don't be sucked in to their delusional attitudes that they want to purvey amongst the American people as being a government. I don't think that they know what their job really is. So, folks, I have bad news for you. She's back. The big speech that she was selling pay-per-views for $25 took place last night, and it's just more of the same stupid hand gestures, the same stupid laugh, the same look at all of her dental work as it is displayed for everyone, and she and AOC should do dental commercials, but whatever. She's back. She had more word salad, and she has kind of practiced trying to deliver a speech more Obama-like now, because somebody has talked to her about how badly she did every time she spoke when she was running for election. Well, she's running again, folks. They don't want her back in San Francisco. They don't want her as governor of California. So now she is setting her sights on 2028 without another platform. She has no platform. There's no basis for her to even tell you that she'll have an administration that will do this, that, and that. She is more running one more time on what's wrong with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump this, and the administration is this, and the country's in trouble under this. So she has no plan again, and she's giving speeches like she's ready to take over. Well, here's a couple of snippets that I found on Australian news, because our news channels are just telling you how great it was and how they're looking forward to her being the president, and so on and so on. So you go overseas and you get their opinions, and it's really, it's still a major joke to them that she's even back on the podium. Take a look here.
Kamala Harris has given her first official speech since being thumped by Donald Trump in the US election last year. The former vice president appeared at the Emerge Gala in San Francisco, where her speech devolved into an unhinged tirade against Donald Trump and the Republican administration.
But sadly, we have seen quite the opposite over these past few months. Now, I know tonight's event happens to coincide with the 100 days after the inauguration, and I'll leave it to others to give a full accounting of what has happened so far. But I will say this: instead of an administration working to advance America's highest ideals, We are witnessing the wholesale abandonment of those ideals.
Online commentators blasted the remarks, saying the former VP is as bizarre as we all remember. This commentator said, Kamala Harris has been gone 4 months and still sounds like she has the same wine buzz from December. This commentator agreed, saying, Kamala Harris finally began speaking in San Francisco, characteristically late, and she's back. Same scripted lines, hand gestures, and sanctimonious condemnation of everyone to her right. And it wasn't just Kamala's remarks on Trump that had viewers offside. Her opening welcome was cringe and awkward. Online commentators breathed a sigh of relief that Trump is now president, with this person saying, I forgot how annoying this woman was for a bit there. And this commentator agreed, saying PTSD from her voice. And Kamala Harris's return to the stage brought up reminders of a long-running joke, that she often appears drunk. This commentator mocked, saying, I can smell the booze through my phone. And this commentator hilariously added, please run again, and I think the bartender would make a great VP. The talk comes after her former colleague Tim Walz was also mocked relentlessly for claiming he was chosen as Kamala Harris's VP pick because he could relate to white men.
I'm a team player, I'm with it. And there's folks that I recognize are smarter than me. They analyze this. You put your input in. Running a campaign that had never been run before, 100 days, in the situation we were at, running against a very unusual opponent on the other side. Mm-hmm. And look, my job was to do it. Look, I knew I was on the ticket. I would argue because we did a lot of amazing progressive things in Minnesota that improved people's lives. But I also was on the ticket, quite honestly, because I could code talk to white guys watching football, fixing their truck, doing that I could put them at ease. I was the permission structure to say, look, you can do this and vote for this. And you look across those swing states, with the exception of Minnesota, we didn't get enough of those votes.
But you could be giving them permission.
Well, that's going to be pretty much it for today. There's a lot going on in stupid town Washington, D.C., and that street is full of people that want to protest, want to lie, want to get back in power, and do not want their antics that they have performed in the past looked into, because there may be a criminal charge coming at some of them. They are scared. And when an animal is scared and backed into a corner, it will fight. And that's what they are fighting against, their own fears of being exposed for exactly who they are. We know this now. We've seen it. We've watched it for 4 years. Actually, we've watched it much longer than that. We suffered through 8 years of, oh, bummer, trying to fundamentally change this country into a socialist mecca for these idiots without and totally devoid of common sense. So we have it coming at us every day, and yet the Trump administration keeps on plugging along and shows you right there in a cabinet meeting in front of your very eyes, which never happened in the past. And now we get a look-see inside the closed doors, and it's wide open for us to understand what is being accomplished, what will be accomplished, and what steps are being taken to make this country great again. And in God we trust, and God is watching, and we as citizens, need to pray every day for this country, for the president and his cabinet, and peace for throughout the world. Pray and pray daily for it, because prayers are heard and prayers are answered, and some of us are living proof of that. So with that, we're going to wish you a very happy rest of this Thursday. God bless you all. Stay safe, stay strong, and stay tuned to the Kaiser Report for more commentary and some funny looks at the failing Democratic Party. 27% approval rating for the Democratic Party. Bye-bye now.